Now, Efia Shemona joins us live in the studio. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations. Yes, congratulations. First runner up.
Yes.
Miss Ghana UK 2025.
Yes.
Congrats.
Big deal.
Yes, big deal. For us guys, we will never get the chance to be beauty pageants. We will never. Maybe in this transgender day and age, who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance closest.
Here and there.
Maybe we'll get a chance to see how. Listen, we've never had a tiara on. We'll never have one in our lives.
Why do you want a tiara?
Do you know what it feels like to grow up knowing that you never had a chance to do something? Like, ladies get a chance to do things that guys do. We have bodybuilders,
yes.
Right? Yes. And so on and so forth. But we will never get a chance to.
But they are cross dressers. It's a decision. You can also decide to cross dress.
we can switch over and try, right? No, because my very first thing I want to ask is the moment when they are crowning you, or like how does it feel like?
It is an unreal feeling. It almost feels like it's not happening because you prepare for so long, and at that moment you're in front of the judges, you're in front of your friends and family. You can't even see who is in the crowd. You can just see lights. So you've gone through hours of preparation, weeks of preparation, and you get there. You're expecting everything to happen, but you have to remember, you have to hold yourself, your poise, your elegance.
Yeah.
You've been smiling for 4 hours straight. Your cheeks are shaking.
That is so real.
So when it comes to it and you hear your name, it's almost like, okay, did they call me? Is that me? And then you go up and you approach. But again, you can't just relax and jump with excitement. You have to hold that poise.
You know when you said you have to smile all through. When now, even if you don't win and you're on the stage and they call other people,
still smiling.
You have to still smile. So everybody's lined up. We had 10 ladies this year within the pageant. Okay. Usually it's about 18 to 20. But we had 10 this year, and it was top 5. Yeah. And you're waiting for your name to be called,
Yes.
And then you step forward, and then it's like, okay, now it's top 3. But bearing in mind, everybody's still standing behind you. So they have to pretend as if though they're still happy. Some are happy for you, but at the same time, you would always still want to be in that top 5 and that top 3. So you're dealing with the shock, but it's just a smile that has to be on your face at all times.
I could imagine, like, you have to be like, you didn't call me. Oh my God. Like, did you really call that lady? No. I want to leave. No, I have to stay. Hey, that'll be difficult. That'll be so difficult. But congratulations. You want to say?
No. Congratulations.
But a bit more about Miss Ghana UK and what it really represents.
It's a representation of bringing both the cultures together. Now, a lot of the diaspora have moved to the UK, and a lot of us want to come back to Ghana, and it's creating that bridge between the two, because there's so much you can give being in the UK and coming to Ghana, and so much that you can learn from the Ghanaian culture that you bring to the UK to ensure that the next generation are still kept.
Assuming that was my question as a judge to you, what do you bring, in reference to what you just said? Bring to Ghana and Ghana to the diaspora?
So for me, it's all about connectivity.
Okay.
When you are in the UK, you see different things. You see the different opportunities, and you're able to bring that to Ghana. Networking is the most important thing you can do, because you never know who you're in the room with, who can help and who can support. So having those connections in the UK and being able to bring them to Ghana, and also in Ghana to the UK, is so fundamental, and it's a massive part of being able to actually say, okay, I want to do something and this is what I'm going to do. Having that helping hand is a great support, because sometimes you don't know who to go to. You don't know who is the source. And sometimes when you're getting things up and running, it takes quite a long time. And having this platform, it definitely excels the experience and the opportunities to be able to say, okay, right, I want to do this. This is who I need to speak to. This is who I need to get in contact with. I'm going to put myself forward. So as individuals, we all had areas that we wanted to work on and towards. Mine is about language. Okay. When we preserve our language, we preserve our culture and our identity. Now, in the UK, our parents allow us to speak English. So they will speak the language to us, whether it be Tree, Dangwe, Sheshi, Ewe, but we can reply in English. So now when we come back to Ghana and we speak, we sound very, very foreign, and they can make that clear identification. But with also a lot of the languages are reducing in terms of like Ga. A lot of the population now, whereas Ga was predominant, is less. And I know some people that can't speak Ga, and looking for a Ga tutor is very difficult. So I'm all about preserving the languages and building a platform that the languages can be preserved. We've got over 75 languages in Ghana, and before even the competition, some of the young ladies didn't know how many languages, and it was coming together and bringing all of those. And as well, for me, this platform will enable me to not only support the younger generation, because there's a lot of women that don't have a voice, and it's being able to say, okay, I've done it. This was my experience, being very transparent about the experience to give them the opportunity to also thrive.
What tribe are you?
Ashanti.
Ashanti. So you can speak the tree proper.
No. This is my problem.
So
you can speak to me and I will reply.
I was almost going to say that you should speak,
but it would be in
the
English.
Tree. It will be in
That's
English.
the problem, yeah.
You don't speak it at all.
I will speak it with my mum because she won't laugh at me.
Oh. Okay.
I have a tutor though. I have a tutor. He's here in Ghana. His name is Hunia Tete, and he has walked me through the process significantly. And within learning how to converse in the tree language, I can ask for things. I can go to the marquee. I can do the basics. I can hold small conversation, but he has really built my confidence in being able to converse and teaching me the difference between Fanti, tree, airway. There's so many similarities that you don't realize. So when you actually listen to the dialect, you then understand, okay, there are a few things I know in the other languages, and it's just the truth of where Ghana has stemmed from in terms of languages and its combination and how each language has derived.
Before I come back to the competition again, now I'm just going back to then what home was like in growing up. So bred in the UK fully. So and were you visiting Ghana, within that period in any way?
Yes. So we've always visited and come back home to Ghana. My grandparents and my mother, they were all born here and then travelled to the UK. Growing up in a household, you eat the food, you hear the language and the culture in terms of when it comes to like traditional weddings and funerals, all of those things are embedded in you. But when you come back to Ghana, the teachings are slightly different because it's everyday, it's day-to-day life. In the UK, you only do certain things when the opportunity arises for you. So we've always had the balance through my grandparents and my mother, and I think them installing that has kept the culture and that bridge. So I'm not completely disengaged to what it is.
So talking the culture, growing up in the UK as a Ghanaian child or growing up in the UK as a British Ghanaian child, where did you find yourself?
A few years ago, it was never cool to be African, let alone be cool to be Ghanaian. So now that with music and social media and everybody has now come to a place where they see how rich Africa is, the transition is
I feel you.
Yeah. So from, I would say, primary school to high school, it was okay, yes, I'm from Ghana. Some people are okay, where is Ghana? Now you say you're from...
They also ask you that question
Now, when you say you're from Ghana, they know so much about the culture and you're able to hold more of a conversation with them, and you can proudly hold that crown and represent. So from what it was to what it is now, it's definitely a huge change.
Now,
Will this be your first time? Will this be your first time in Ghana?
No.
You said
No. I've
she's
been
been in
I've been
and
coming
out.
to Ghana back and forth. Within the last 3 years, I've made it a mission to come at least 3 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
so
talking about...
I wanted to just ask quickly, right? For what you expected before you first came to Ghana, right? And what it is in actuality, was there any difference? And for all of the times that you have been coming, what I expected, what it is, what's the balance for you?
I would say as a child, when you come back to Ghana with your parents, all you do is go and visit family. That's the trajectory. As you grow older, now I'm coming to Ghana, I'm finding things for myself, I'm navigating, I'm just doing my own thing, Ghana is so much wider. There's so much more that you can see. There's so much more you can do. I believe when it came to the whole Easter is arising, everybody's coming to Ghana, there's Dirty December, you were able to navigate and say, wow, okay, this is what is going on. Whereas when you came with your family, they'll just teach you A and B. You'll go to your grandparents' house, you go to your cousin's house. You don't actually get to see Ghana. So as I was coming back, I was doing more and more things, like getting on Chotro instead of getting on an Uber, just to experience it, because you genuinely wouldn't do that coming back home. So yeah, definitely.
Essie, you were going to ask.
Yes, so with, I was asking a follow-up to what you asked with the whole British Ghanaian situation, and knowing that before it wasn't like that, but now a lot of people are interested, even people who are not from here, which raises the question of cultural appropriation, right? I want to know what's your take on that, and being on both sides. Sometimes do you feel like British people now are trying to get so much in the culture and they don't do their best to understand that, but they just want to identify?
Very, very, very good question. I would definitely say there are aspects where the culture is appropriated. For example, fashion. I can't remember the company that it was, but they presented the Ghana Must Go bag as a fashion bag. Now,
and sold it for very expensive. I've forgotten the brand, but it was very expensive.
It was very expensive.
Yeah,
now, I am all for you researching the culture, asking questions, getting to know and understand, but you have to also respect the culture. There are some things that you shouldn't do because that's significant to the culture.
Oh, so wait, are you on the side of the Lion King, the writer, the owner of the song suing the comedian, or on the side of the comedian suing the like just making fun of the
No side.
which side? Which side would you be on?
I feel
Sorry to digress. Just
the
picking your
writer
opinion.
of the song.
Yes.
Oh, please don't get me involved with this one.
No.
I understand that he may take an offence.
Yes.
However, the comedian, he has a job. He is a comedian. Now, when things are edited, you don't always get the full aspect. So I believe what we saw was a clip and a snippet of what the conversation was. And judging just on that,
Oh my God.
being
The
in the
lion.
entertainment industry, I wouldn't say, okay, you deserve to be sued. You've mocked the language or the culture. But again, there's never been an actual translation. There never has been. So
Well, they said there was a translation. So I've been seeing loads of videos on TikTok with another actor saying that they had a script and the script had a breakdown. But it's similar to what the
guy
comedian
said,
said,
yeah.
that, oh my God, it's a lion, a lion. But anyway, that's on the side. But now back to what AC was asking. And the point you were making with appreciating and understanding the culture. I think you were just speaking on that.
yeah. So again, wearing, whether it be entuma or kente, I believe understand first, because with some cloths and the kente, there's colors that are representation. So if you wear the wrong thing to the wrong occasion, you'll be offending somebody and offending the culture. It's so important to understand what it is and ask the question. If you are unsure, don't just do. If you have support of somebody from the culture and they can break it down to you, say, okay, this is appropriate to do, this is appropriate to wear, then okay, you want to adapt and you're learning and you're asking questions. I have no issues with that. But for you to not understand and be quite ignorant to the culture, that's where the problem arises.
The UK is a mixed bag of cultures, right? Massive, probably the most densely packed mix of cultures. Do you think we're a bit too sensitive now that the spotlight is on Ghana and largely Africa to things like these? Because the LV bag Ghana Must Go thing, personally, I don't have a problem with it, because I don't see it as appropriation. I see it as them taking advantage of something trendy that was unique, that didn't have a spotlight, and nobody was doing it. Nothing stopped us from selling those bags at whatever price we wanted. Somebody took it and sold it. I don't see any disrespect tied to that. Firstly. Secondly, we as black people and as Ghanaians, we've also taken in a lot of foreign cultures in how we speak, in our entertainment industry
And misappropriated them.
and use them free. No, not that, we've used them freely, right? And we've not had that kind of backlash. So I'm just asking that, do you think that maybe we're a bit too sensitive to these things?
I don't think so at all. I think it's all about protecting culture and having people respect the culture. If you respect the culture, that's one thing. I believe that with what you're saying about the appropriation and the language, yes, we may do a lot of things that may be European or from the UK, but before our independence, that's what we were taught. Now that we've gained our independence, we are also tapping into our culture and making things more known. We are representing, we are pushing forward with what is ours. So I believe people should respect it, but I don't feel like they just ask the relevant questions. Just be respectful of the culture. And if we don't protect our culture and what it means, everybody will take it and everybody will use it. But it's very, very valuable. Our culture is very, very rich, very, very valuable.
Where do we draw the line between the global village and taking inspiration and appropriation and basically stealing culture?
Culture vulturing.
Yeah, let me give you an example. In the Black Panther movie, after the movie came out, a lot of African countries had problems. The Dahomey people had problems with how the women were represented. Even the woman king also had its own issues. People were going crazy. Oh, that's not how we are, blah, blah, blah. Then there's the Kente issue that happened with Black Panther as well, where there was some Kente pattern that was used in Ghanaian folk. Something also got upset. But in Ghana here, right, one of the biggest fashion items is the Indian-styled kaftan. Right, where everybody sews. It's on TV, politicians, men of God, traditional leaders, everybody's in an Indian style kaftan. I've not heard one Indian person be offended, because from their perspective,
Sad for them then.
From their perspective, how I see it, it's an inspired. We didn't used to wear those things with the round neck and
the Chinese neck.
It was inspired from the Asia, from the East, and we've owned it now with our fabrics and our whatever our patterns. I don't see that as cultural appropriation.
Well, Cyril, maybe theirs is not culture. Maybe theirs is just fashion.
If somebody
No, but fashion is part of culture.
If somebody takes,
I'm just saying that as compared to a Chinese neck and a
Jay,
kente, you know,
Jay,
like
no, I'm not just. I'm not forget about the neck. I'm not talking about the neck.
No,
I'm talking about these attires.
Design.
I'm talking about these attires that we wear. These, you know, the
You can easily
you know
identify
Asian, it's in
them
the
with that.
telenovelas.
Yeah.
Even with the half shoe, we wear all of it.
Yeah.
Right? The same way the agbada, it's not ours. You know the agbada is not ours.
Yeah.
The agbada is Congo,
Nigerian.
Nigeria, blah. They wear the agbada. We've owned all of them, and nobody is pointing fingers at us and saying,
that's
"Hey, but
intra-Africa.
No, but I don't think we've owned Agbada. I think we know where it's from.
Yeah.
No, it's like
you don't
to
get what I'm
wear
saying.
it.
If he's saying we've owned it, like
if
we still
somebody in
wear it
America,
a lot, we
right,
still wear the
when I say the
three-pieces, the
sensitivity,
I
four-pieces.
get that. That's why she was
When I
also
say the
saying that if
sensitivity-
you respect it, like we know where
Yeah.
it's
Is
from.
it-
There's that respect for it.
If when I say the sensitivity, if a young fashion designer in Milwaukee or Kansas or New York starts doing these things, the agbada and the whatever, blah blah blah, right? 9 out of 10, somebody's going to jump on the internet and complain about it. Cultural, a white person starts doing all this. It's going to be cultural appropriation and that this and that and this
I
and
mean,
that.
you're gonna have those who choose a child.
Yes.
You would always
But-
have someone that has an
Yeah.
opinion.
But all I'm saying is that we are not innocent. We
Okay.
we
I see where Cyril
absorb,
is coming
we
from,
right?
absorb
All the time.
so
Yeah,
many
we-
influences, and we are okay when we do it to others and we own
Others,
it.
yeah, but when others do it to
But
us,
it's like we are so sensitive that, oh my God, I saw 2 inches
let's
of kente
just
in that
see-
movie.
I get
Did
it.
they contact us
Let's
before
just
using the
see
kente?
somebody
That's
wearing
what
a
I'm-
kente and going to a club in New York right now,
It'll trend. A
and it will
famous
be
person.
yes, it will be a
The
big
big
problem.
But what I'm saying is that we have a whole fashion industry where people are designing agbada, kaftan, and all this, and none of them are Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And nobody's pissed off, and nobody's attacking us.
Yeah,
so maybe
I
we
get your
tone
point.
it down a bit. That's where I'm pushing at.
Or maybe
get
the
your point.
sense of entitlement as well.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Are we-
also
do we- do
very
we
much a
think
part of it.
We're a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
sensitive,
sad for them. They should have done that.
Dashikis. I give this example every day. As long as I can remember, Oxford Street has been selling those dashikis, the African prints. Nobody cared.
You do
The
know
fabric
you do
is
know-
called Angelina, by the
Angelina,
way.
nobody
Yeah.
cared. It was even something reserved for the Rasta men and the weed smokers, quote unquote, and it had a whole thing, right? Then the shikis blew up, and now certain people cannot wear it because we ignored it. Dashikis have been sold on Oxford Street since the 90s.
For a long time.
And nobody cared. Nobody protected it. Nobody said anything about it. Nobody had a problem.
Yeah.
Until it became successful and other people were like, oh, that's a nice pattern. I love that shirt. I want to wear that out today. Big problem.
Yeah,
So
because
do you get what I'm saying?
because somebody of a bigger brand and more influence, tapped into it, and then they gave it a global, audience. Now people were just, using it. So you have a fair point. This one you've tried. You've made some points that are, see me in my office.
I mean, I do agree with that. I feel like we never appreciate what we have until someone brand tags,
also, the
someone
people who
takes
wear
it
winter
up.
coats for a living don't get offended when we wear it in the tropics.
I comment my reserve.
No, you can go on with the show. The table was a bit wobbly. I just said, break
You had
Okay.
to break
You had
it.
to break it.
now.
Just
Well done.
bam.
So carpenter,
Efia,
new table.
let's get to now. I'm loving you having all this background and this curiosity. It's good. Is that what pushed you to jump on the pageant?
Yes. I had never really looked at pageantry beforehand. I'd seen it on TV, saw what it potentially entailed, but growing up and coming back more often, I was like, how can I actually make a difference? And it's only when you have passion that you can actually make a difference, because you want to do things out of your own heart and for the betterment and for just in general aid. We see that areas that could potentially do with development, how can I support that? How can I be of asset to my country and to my culture? So yeah.
And
So this is your first and only pageant? Or?
Yes, first and only pageant.
Wow.
wow.
Well done.
Usually, people who make it as far as you made it, a career.
I'll tell you why. When you look at the other pageantries, there's criterias, whether it be your height, whether it be your weight, whether it be the way you look. With Miss Ghana UK, there wasn't any restrictions. You were welcomed, whether you could speak the language or whether you couldn't speak the language.
Okay.
So it brought a sense of community to all the young females and a platform for them to learn. You're learning off each other, and what better way than from your own people with the background. So when I applied for the position, I said, okay, I'm going to be with my fellow Ghanaians. I have great knowledge of what it is that we do in Ghana and how we process and how we do things, but I'm going to be a blank canvas because I've got the older generation there now that can even give me greater knowledge and expand this journey for me.
You mentioned that, you were learning from each other, right? There's a notion that when a lot of women, are in one space, there's sometimes some friction, some misunderstandings.
all the time.
So I like that
From where we sit, it's all the time.
you highlighted that you learned a lot from the other ladies. So can you share with us how that sisterhood
No,
also
before that,
played
why you
out
pretend as though you didn't
for
hear what I
you?
said? I said it's all the time.
Sorry?
It is all the time.
We hear your
Where we have two or
opinion.
more women gathered, there's always
We
a
hear
slide
your
table that is
opinion.
shaking somewhere.
We hear you say.
Do you know, I will
Can I
touch upon
continue?
that. I will definitely touch upon that.
Okay.
You spend 13 weeks every Sunday, potentially 4 hours with women, and it's just you guys. Bearing in mind, from when you first meet, you don't know anything about each other, to then you begin to see everybody's characteristics. Now, there will always be tension and friction, and I feel like as the journey grew, it was appreciating what each individual brought. But you had to go along that journey to see. So week 1, week 2, week 3, everybody was really to themselves. They didn't really speak much. Everybody's kind of sussing everybody out. But when it drew closer, it was using everybody's strengths, because we had to do a group performance. So you really now need to come and pull the strength out of each other, because you're not being based as an individual in that sector. It's all three of you. So the strength has to come. You all have to work together, whether you like it or not. So it's best to understand and have that communication with the other young ladies to prevail.
Right.
Okay, so since you mentioned projects, that's what I wanted to come to. Not what you are on now, but what were some of the things, activities that happened within this 13 weeks?
So within the 13 weeks, we went to Ghana Party in the Park, which is put on by Akwabi UK, to whereby as the MG UK Foundation, we went round and we spoke to individuals about the projects that we're doing together. So one of them is Pound for Pad, to whereby we raise money to send sanitary towels back home, and we do that every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Another is the year of the last rain, the young ladies went to Kumasi and they went to go and see the Nananum and to see the chiefs and ask, what is it that is needed? What school needs help? What school needs assistance? So again, in Accra, everybody's helping, everybody's doing. So it was branching out to who needed support more. And one of the schools that were given to us was Sewanyakun, which is an all-girls school.
Okay.
So they need an IC unit. So we are pushing forward to be able to build one for them. Education is very important. And with the day and age that we are in, an IT unit, everybody should have access to the internet for good purposes. So we are working currently on raising money to present them with that. So that's a current project that we are doing.
Okay, and how is that? So that is something that you are on now as we speak.
Something that we're on now.
How far has it come? How has been support like so far?
Support is very difficult when you are reaching out. Sometimes people forget that you're a charity. So when you're trying to ask for assistance and help, people aren't always as forthcoming. So it's definitely a massive, massive push in putting yourself out there, negotiating, networking with people, but there's always support in numbers, and social media plays a heavy part in being able to support what we are doing and what we're looking into. I will thank a gentleman called Fuad. He is a part of the Ghana Cocoa Marketing Company, and the theme for the pageant this year was cocoa. So every year they have a theme, whether it be the Ya Asantwa in you or, like we said, the cocoa. He has definitely shown us a massive light into the production of cocoa in Ghana. From not knowing that like almost 50% of the farmers are not just male, it is female. Farmers processing it, and the way in which we process our cocoa, which is why it is so rich. A lot of the other countries use machinery and equipment. We do everything by hand, which is why ours is the purest form. Sending our cocoa beans to another country in comparison to whether it be any others, I don't want to get myself in trouble by incorrect naming.
We can say it for you.
That's fine.
We are fine.
They can trust that they can use our cocoa straight away. They don't have to filter it and go through it. Whereas some other cultures and countries, there will be different assortments within the cocoa that they now have to come and filter out. So when we went to work alongside them, it was going to meetings, learning about cocoa from where it's farmed to where it goes to the manufacturing to the processes. And me, I thought I was going to go and flick my hair and be cute on this stage. I'm not gonna lie. And it just opened my eyes to everything else that's behind it and the hard work that goes into representing Miss Ghana UK, what comes of it and everything behind the scenes. It's not just a pageant. It is definitely a platform. We have appearances sometimes with the High Commissioner, Her Excellency, to whereby your elegance and poise, being in the room with people that have the final say, is massive. It is a massive, massive opportunity. One thing they told us was listen to the news. And I thought, why do I have to come and listen to the news? I see the news day to day, but being able to hold conversation and engage in current affairs is so important. Having a crown, having the tiara, being pretty, it's not enough. So you have to make yourself known. Okay, this young lady, there's education behind her in how she speaks. She knows what she's talking about. How is she now going to come and influence the younger generation or the next generation? So it's so important, and it's more than just makeup.
The beauty is confirmed by the mind.
Yeah,
it is definitely.
So let me pick your perspective on that topic. Inspiring a younger generation. They say that sometimes peer-to-peer advice is way better than an adult trying to what do you call advise a younger person because
I
you
agree.
see the person, you're old, live your life, you're not coming to tell me what to do in mine. What about you? What would you tell someone who's just say about 10 is too bad, 5 years younger than you?
I would definitely say own
As a girl.
own your truth. What you have installed in you, your visions, your creativity, what you want to do, own it. The creativity that you're given and the ideas that you're given are for you. And don't ever think that any platform is oversaturated, because what you may bring is very, very different to how somebody would execute it. We can all have the same idea in this room, but we can all execute it very, very differently and on different platforms. So whatever you believe in, stand for it, be a great representation, be very, very mindful also of the legacy that you're now building. Your legacy starts from way before you even know it. How do you want to be remembered? When people hear your name, what do you want them to associate you with, to how you're seen and to how you're respected and to how you're viewed? Because it goes a long way. Now, as sitting here, all of our names are in rooms that we don't even know or imagine because of things that we've done or things that we're doing or somebody's heard. So for a younger me, for somebody that is 5 years younger, 10 years younger, wherever you have, own it.
Yeah.
Be confident. Wear that crown that you have.
I feel you. People, okay, sorry, let me allow Lenny, because your name is mentioned in some room right now somewhere.
Because you speak about confidence and then also owning your journey, you come across as someone who has a lot of knowledge of self, right? Where did that come from? And then also, how have you managed to imbibe that and then also move it on to other people as well?
I would definitely say my parents are a heavy, heavy influence.
Okay.
In my mom will tell me right from wrong, black from blue. She will not filter what she says. Now, slightly going back to what Jay said, when an older person tells you something, you're like, oh, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. But how many of us now understand when our mum has said something from 5 years ago and it's now a representation of what is happening? So until you get to that point, you will never understand what that person is talking about. So when you get the peer-to-peer feedback, because that's happening in that moment and right now, you then seem to kind of respect it more because somebody's doing it in the present moment. But then also in the next few years, you'd be like, you know what? That older person was right. Mum was right. So going back to what you said, sorry, repeat.
Your knowledge of self seems to be high. How have you made sure that you've also now poured into other people, basically?
It's also come from work. I've always been in the management sector of work and in the industry that I am, and constructive feedback is very, very important. And if you're getting the same thing over and over again, it's being able to sit back and self-reflect and say, okay, how can I change this? Because this is what I've done wrong. So taking on feedback, and I do have a lot of people around me that hold me accountable for things that I do. So that support system is a great, great help. Now, for everything that I have learned, when I'm teaching others, I say, I've been there. This is what I've done. And even maybe sharing some experiences to be on that level with them and to say, okay, this is what I've done. This is why I've done it. Not just saying, okay, just do this. There's never an understanding as to why you should do something unless, one, there's an example, or two, somebody know what could come from it or the avenues that it might open or entail.
Right. Okay.
Now, let's be wrapping this up with debunking this myth about beauty pageants and how some are shipped off for slave trade. I'm just trying to just make him out of something. But there's that, and that's in itself wards a lot of ladies away from it. Or sometimes creates a certain perception for some ladies who engage in it. We're already in it. In reference to what you have been through, your experiences on this, what do you have to say about this?
First of all, I would say shout out to Auntie Mavis and Auntie Gina, who have coached all of us along our journey of Miss Ghana UK. We got mentors. We all got mentors that we could speak to and go to when we needed the support and help. And one thing that they said to us is self-respect and self-awareness. Those things are always very, very important. So with what they want to project and how they want the organization to be seen, it was always about how you carried yourself. So the rumors of other pageants, I can't speak on, but for us, the journey was enlightening. There was so much support that came from it, so much opportunity that has come from it. But having Auntie Mavis and Auntie Gina, and they themselves, they're mothers, so they're mothering us with that nurture, as well as teaching us how somebody sees you and what you represent yourself as. It goes a long way. So you have to make sure and ensure that you keep yourself intact, you keep yourself presentable, that when you're in any room, it's only positivity that's being spoken.
Yeah.
Now, prior to getting into the pageant, I'm sure you had your thoughts about pageantry as well. So getting into it and learning all you've learned, what would you say has changed for you?
Definitely my perception.
Okay.
It's
So what was the earlier perception?
oh, these girls are walking on the stage and just looking pretty, and what are they doing after? And sometimes what they're doing after might not be highlighted because they're doing so much. When we finished the pageantry, that same week after, we had 3 engagements. I said, hey, this one has become a full-time job on top of my full-time on top of my full-time job. So definitely sorry, what was the last bit you said?
The perception.
Change.
The
in
perception. It's more than beauty. It's beauty and brains. We had some young ladies that were engineers, some young ladies that were nurses, and what they wanted to do with the title of having the pageantry went far beyond just being pretty and being on appearances and being models. It was truly what they could do. As I said, everybody had their own objective of what they wanted to do and what they wanted to bring. And everybody's working on their own purpose and their own walk. One young lady has actually presented a movie called Adinkra, and I was like, wow, that's fantastic. She was currently in the States, to whereby she was talking with great big people. Now, not to say that she didn't win, but using the platform and having that confidence, and everybody's confidence grows within the 13 weeks that you're there. She's doing phenomenal things. So it's absolutely great to see. I think once you've done a pageant like Miss Ghana UK, your perception definitely changes to what could happen. I say this would be my first and only pageant. One, because of age, because some of these ones, they're very restrictive of age. But 2, with everything I've done with Miss Ghana UK, I'm not quite sure what else I could learn from the others. I've done so much more in terms of speaking to some of the other girls from the other pageantries, whether it be Miss Jamaica, Miss UK. With everything that we've done, I'm like, you people have worked us to the bone. These appearances, these networking events, it's really a lot. It's very, very thorough. And some of the girls are like, I didn't know you were doing that. Oh my gosh, okay. And it's sharing the ideas. So we've come to realize that we do a lot more than some of the other girls may do.
I think it's just one of the beautiful things about some of these events is when it brings like-minded people together, especially of culture and race. Because when we step out there, what we don't know is when we step out there into the Europes or into this Western worlds, we are diluted with so many other race. You might have to walk 10 miles before you meet another of your kind, unlike the Chinese and the Lebanese who are just everywhere. Yeah. But in the Indians and Jamaicans, but for us, it might take a while before you have to walk through, before you meet another of your kind. And so these things bring us together. And especially when you're born and you're living outside the African continent, it's precious for you when you come in touch with your culture. You hold it a bit close to your chest than we here, of course, like you're saying, the Louis V bag for us, the Ghana Must Go bag is everywhere we go. It's there, but it's a big deal if you see it, elsewhere. And that's why you see people shipping all kinds of spices and things, There was a video of a lady complaining in America that a Ghanaian lady said she went to a shop to go and buy one of these sachet powdered 3-in-1 cocoa drinks made in Ghana, and it was so expensive, but it's so cheap on the market here. And you can understand when you come in touch with these things, it has traveled. I know, right? It's traveled. But this is good. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Yes, congrats. And we're looking forward for more activities and projects from you. I hope you still get the motivation and the confidence and everything you need.
Yeah, even beyond my reign, because the next young ladies are coming in September, October. The new applications have actually opened up. But even beyond my reign, I will be doing much, much more and staying with the organization to thrive and support.
When do you leave town?
I leave middle of April.
Okay, all right. At least we still have more time with you. So if something else pops up, let's have the conversation. Let's see how we can also amplify this as much as possible out there for you. Yeah, Efia, Shemona, thank you so much for coming through this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yes. And I one day before I die, I'll definitely also put a tiara.
We should do Mr. Ghana. I'll bring it. I'll bring it to Mr. Ghana.
Yeah.
We should.
I have one of the tiaras.
Do you mind lending him your tiara for a few seconds?
On that note. I'll put it on, but
I'll bring you one tomorrow.
I've done rough hair today. When I come back out there.
Before we go, I want to say belated happy birthday to my sister, Stephanie Boris-Hemans, and to my mother, Josephine Boris-Hemans. I love you both so much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, we are on time, so. You had a birthday wish to do.
Oh, I've done it already.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it again. Okay.
No.
All right. Happy birthday to all March borns. We are leaving your month finally. Going into April. We're told tomorrow is Amy's birthday. So, Amy, in advance, happy birthday to you. On that note,
we have to wait until August.
Same time tomorrow. We're back here again on Culture Daily. And we are Efia. Thank you so much. And we are.